Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Return of the Dragon Gods, a Fantasy Grounds Forgotten Realms adventure. My name is Donovan. I'll be your host for tonight, and as always, to my right is the world creator, Damara herself. Tonight, we're getting ready to continue on our adventure from last week. I received notice earlier today that our bard seems to be a little under the weather and did not do any compositions as of yet. So we will make sure that he pays for that next week. So, since we don't have a musical entrance, does anybody want to recap what happened last week?
I could.
Go ahead, Amy.
Okay, so basically we set off on the trip to escort little Thomas to where he needs to go to become a king of somewhat of dragons. It started off quite okay, but seems like Dire Tracy and has a bit of a cold between the two of them, even though they are sharing a tent. The guys were, I'm not sure if they were enjoying eavesdropping to the tent while they were arguing or not. We got to some kind of a fountain or something. I'm not really sure what it was, but there was dragon figures on it, and there was water. That unlocked a bit of the reason why we were on that trip. We got explained that Thomas was supposed to become king to go back to bring back the dragon gods. It got a little bit touchy feeling. Dia didn't really like it, so she kind of started the march to continue our trip. At some point, we got caught up in a storm created by some giants that were passing by. Our friend Albert tried to go and trade with them, which was probably not a really good idea, but he bailed out of it. And I think that's pretty much it.
Alright, thanks so much for that recap. So last week we ended up stopping just before weeks 7 through 8, if we remember correctly. Everything else has been pretty much eventless up until this point. And we specifically stopped last week because we have an encounter coming up in front of us. And I see that we lost a couple of people there on our audio background, so hopefully they'll get reconnected soon. So, as we are traveling along, you guys are trying to stay kind of close to a road, but not so much directly onto the road. You don't want to be too inconspicuous, but then again, with the lore and everything that you have received in regards to that this is a journey that not so many people made it back from, and once those did make it back, they weren't really the same afterwards. So taking that into consideration, you're on your way through this, it just was not necessarily a pass, but it's an area where there's a little bit of debris in the road. I mean, you could barely see the stones that made up the road. Vegetation, forest stuff all around. It's nothing out of the ordinary. When some of the horses start to kind of feel a little jittery and shaky. And remind me who again is in point.
I
It's Matt
It's
and
not
I.
me. I lost that vote.
You lost that vote?
I think it was Zaviel and Aiden. That was
Absolutely.
the
Yeah, I think we put the squishy person up there along with the cleric. That's right.
I was up the rear with Paul. Focus.
All right. So, pretty much, Zaviel, your horse starts kind of acting a little strange, almost a little bit jittery.
Whoa, easy, easy, girl.
It was an accident, I swear.
The horses come to a stop. Listening around, you don't hear really anything that's out of the ordinary.
I dismount.
You dismount off of your horse. Standing next to your horse, what would you like to do?
Roll a perception check just to kind of see what's going on, to see if I see anything or hear anything that might be spooking them.
Okay, let's go ahead and roll your perception.
Am I allowed to perceive things from the top of my horse?
Just give me just a moment to deal with it. You absolutely can. So, right off the bat, being next to your horse and everything, you really don't get any type of sense that anything's wrong. The horse still seems to be a little jittery. Albert, what did you want to do?
I would like to do the same thing, but from on top of my horse.
So we're going to go ahead and give you that roll, and yeah, pretty much you just hear the birds in the wind, and you perceive it to be a very beautiful day.
Since I'm a little further up and also on my horse, I'm gonna do the same thing as they've done.
Okay, so what we're going to do is give you a little bit of a disadvantage at this point because you are a little bit further up. So go ahead and roll your perception. I'll do it at -2 on that check. Very nicely done. So looking around and everything, you realize that in this type of a situation, in this type of a scenario, something's not right. And with your class background, you are you're very keen on keeping up with what your body tells you, your perceptions and what you think is happening. So you listen to your instincts, and right now your instincts are telling you to be on your guard.
I'm going to dismount and go and join Aiden.
Okay? You dismount off of your horse and run up there to catch up with Aiden, who is still mounted on the horse.
While saying, coming.
So Aiden does go ahead and dismount. So are you guys leading the horses through this area, or are you leaving the horses behind?
Before I ran up to join them, I handed the reins to Diatrice so that she can hold on to my horse and I can have my weapons.
Okay. All right.
Just to clarify, only because she was right next to me.
Okay.
Because I was being misogynistic.
Nothing wrong with being misogynistic. You just have to deal with her wrath. That's all. All right. So you guys start walking a little bit further up.
I'm gonna dismount my horse and follow them too.
Okay.
So I'll take the reins of the horse.
All right. So as you get a little bit closer, and I'm going to go ahead and put, I've got a map here that I need to share with everybody, so I'm going to go ahead and put placement on the map at this point. This isn't a typical, the map that I'm going to get you guys in, looks like it's not going to allow me to basically hide it until you get there. So pay no attention to the monster tokens that are already on the map.
What monster token?
Exactly. Give me just a second to get those set up for you guys.
Not yet. I do have horses and stuff in the works. I have a list of changes I need to make to artwork, but I'll get it done. But not for today. Sorry.
And Zaviel, I'm pretty much putting Aiden and Alberic up there at the point. Would it be safe to say that you're directly behind them?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle between them and everyone else.
Gotcha. That's what I kind of figured.
Behind Samuel.
I'm sorry, who's behind Zaviel?
Me.
Okay. Sorry, guys, bear with me.
Taylor, is your chat working?
Yeah.
Oh. Hello.
Hi.
And we said Dala's right behind Zaviel. The last, the other individuals. Who else is there?
What are you looking for, Matt?
I know Zaviel's in there, and I'm looking for Diatrice, and I'm looking for Popos.
We're trailing at the back because I've got the 2 horses.
Gotcha.
Oh man, I should have handed the reins to Popos because we know he's not going to be very helpful in the fighting.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Oh, got him.
All right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and share off the map. I've got the placement on there. If you're not happy with the character sizes, then just go ahead and readjust them. But please don't do anything with the placement since we already have it going on. Does everybody see their characters?
I see one. He's real big.
That's just his ego.
Yeah, that is his ego.
How do I rotate it?
Don't hold control. Mouse turn. There you go. Just like that. All right. Once again, we'll just give kudos out to the modified icons that happened by Brian. So while these have the beginning of the stock icons, Brian has put his own personal touch in there to try to make them as close to our individual parties as possible. You heard him talking a little bit earlier about adding in some other things. One of the things that I asked him to add is also to bring in the little weasel that belongs to Alberic.
I totally forgot about him.
And there's gonna be a weasel and
Horses.
versions.
There you go. All right. So again, what we're going to do is that I know you guys can see the icons of the monsters there. We're going to pretend that they're not there, or whatnot. So how are we moving forward? Because pretty much right there where they have the debris in the road is pretty much where they're going to make their surprise. So how are we progressing?
So you know something's up, yes?
You have a feeling, and Aiden's sixth sense, if you will, is basically telling everybody to, just be on your guard, be ready. So the next question that I'm going to ask is pertain to everybody. I know a good amount of people got off their horses and so forth, but the question is, I don't remember anybody saying they drew their blades.
I did.
I don't do my blades.
I know you don't. More specifically, looking at Aiden and Alberic, because I don't remember either.
I did, but I said it kind of quietly. So.
Ah.
I am going to step. Actually, are there bushes or shrubbery close to me?
You're looking at it right now, my friend.
Then I'm gonna step into the bushes and shrubbery real quick and hide.
Okay. So you can drag your icon. The one there with the white hair is you. So you can put yourself into whatever kind of covering on either side of you. There you go.
And I'm gonna walk up to about here,
Okay.
just so I can kind of see around that bush.
Again, everything looks a little quiet.
And my bow is wrong as well.
Okay. Aiden, what are you doing?
Higher diet
I'm just standing here for now.
All right. Alberic, you happen to be the man of the hour.
That's what I was hoping for.
not inspired by
You can do whatever you'd like to, sir. You absolutely have an initiative moment to do that. So the question that I'm going to have for you is how are you going to do that?
I'm going to sing a beautiful song to her. What's the song?
My Little Pony theme song.
Oh, that's on.
My little pony.
Or, you know, I'm so pretty and witty and gay. All right, Albert, we're waiting on you, bud.
For initiative,
Yeah, for one, no, for what you want to do. I need you to move up a little bit.
sing a song.
Oh, just play music. It'd be easier.
We're not ready for initiative yet, Albert.
What are we waiting on before that?
Bro, you don't know that they're there.
Right there. Now, now they're there.
So now I roll initiative.
Right. So let's get everybody should be on your combat tracker right now. Let me get the fighting party on the combat tracker.
How do I untarget?
Try control something again.
And it says I'm petrified, and my little icon's a bird. I don't know what that is.
And your target enemy.
I just removed you from the tracker. Hang on.
That's me.
There you go. You should be set now. Now, before we get
And then there you go.
Zav's not. Thank you very much. Before we get moving a little bit more, can we check to make sure that our hit points are all at the maximum hit points that your character can have right now? Make sure you don't have any temporary wounds or anything along that line.
What's the INIT numbers that we're missing?
That's your initiative. That pretty much says in what order that we're going to go in. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually getting everything set for initiative on... Oh, I got to change the round as well. Initiative on the monsters at this point. So has everybody rolled their initiative and getting prepared for this? So I need Zav and Aiden to roll initiative.
Oh, that's dumb. How do I do?
And remember, okay, so remember that you have the ability to click to target your mobs. And this actually helps with the combat tracker for those that might be watching, for the few that will be watching. What this will do is this will actually help the DM and the mechanics to be able to keep up to see which monster the party is attacking and what their health is and so forth. So at this point, let's see, goblin number 4 becomes visible. Boing. 5 becomes visible. And 2 becomes visible. And of course, the boss becomes visible. So you get down and you're walking in through the pass and you see that once again you are met up with some goblins. They actually appear to be salivating towards an individual at the back of the line and actually want to exact a little bit of revenge for him escaping being fed to their god. Oh, those were kobolds. Ah! Goblins. Well, you know what? These goblins were paid off by the kobolds to attack you. Nonetheless, they still want, the one in the back. Alright, so the first on our initiative is Zaviel. Let me get everything popped back up there real quick. Boink. So, Zaviel, what would you like to do during your initiative?
I am hitting, so I would like to take a pot shot at whatever one looks the biggest. So, assume the boss.
The biggest one is going to be the boss, which is further down. So your pot shot, what is the distance on that? Okay.
150.
150 feet?
Yes.
Alright, so what you need to do is you need to target the boss. You are going to have some negatives because he is a little bit behind cover to where you are. So there's going to be a negative to hit him. So go ahead and once you have him targeted, go ahead and do your roll to attack, please.
How do I target?
Control and click on the token, I believe, that you want to attack. There you go. So you've got it targeted. Go ahead and you attack on a 19. Go ahead and roll your damage. So the initiative, when you do your roll to attack, you should have something around where that weapon is that basically says something along the lines of 1d4 or 1d6. If you just double click on that line, it will roll your damage for you.
Oh, you said to double click it? I've been trying to get this one.
Yeah, just double click it.
Game changer.
Game changer. 1 second. Where's his pot shots?
So double click on that spot that says 1d4 plus 2.
Are you using the longbow at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, so see where your 1d8 plus 4 piercing? There you go. Just like that. Perfect. And that's going to end your round at this point. And let's see how this is. There we go. Popos, it's your turn, sir.
Alright, for getting Goblin number 4, I would like to cast Tasha's Ideas Laughter. What do I roll for this?
What are you trying to do, sir?
I try to cast Tasha's Ideas Laughter as a spell.
So what you want to do is you're going to target the mob that you want to do that on. Now, is this something that you're trying to put on a party member or a mob?
No, I am targeting Goblin number 4.
Perfect. So target that goblin, and you do have that. So what you're going to want to do is in your skills, just pull up your character sheet here real quick. You're under your actions. We're going to go under.
See the little hourglass? It's the Tasha's.
Oh, all right.
Do I have to roll something?
So you see where the little magnifying glass is at the end?
Yeah.
So what you want to do is click on that,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
and that produces all of your spellcasting abilities.
Okay.
So it looks like you didn't hit him at this point, but you tried. Good job. All right, so that ends your turn on that one. Next one is Dala. No, it's failed on both of them. Failure.
failed to save.
Oh. Well, okay, hold on a sec, $1. That he failed to save the goblin. Okay, so it looks like...
The
I think you...
goblin failed to save.
Yeah, the goblin failed to save. Okay, so go ahead and roll the damage. You only get the one shot, right?
It doesn't do damage.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, it just gives them a... Okay.
So they're incapacitated.
You're incapacitated. Okay.
Unable to stand up. And
So yeah, so right now at this point, that one's frozen. All right, Mastala, I'm sorry for the interruption. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna move a little bit closer. Go a number 5 with the firebolt.
Okay. Oh, snap!
Oh yes!
All right, go ahead and do damage. That one's dying. Good job. Alberic, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna move up to goblin number 2. It's control click to target, right?
That is correct, sir. And for those of you that are listening to the audio, if you don't hear anything in the audio, I only have 2 connected. So you might want to check if you wish to connect to audio to reconnect to it again, please.
Alright, and then I'm gonna use my main action to attack with my first short sword.
All right. You missed.
And then my bonus action to try with the other one.
You missed again. You're an awesome warrior. Last but not least is Mr. Aiden.
I think I'm gonna sneak over to Mr. Goblin 4. Can I move that far?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna poke him.
Okay. Control target and then roll the hit.
I'm gonna have to go back to roll manually. That just did not work out.
The dice hate you today, bud. Okay.
Take my blow.
And that one is wounded.
Now, do I get to roll again for that sneak attack thing I've got?
Sure. Alright, so that one seems to be dying as well. You guys are doing really good just on the first round. Let's see what the goblins can do at this point. So right now, the only one that's really in direct line of sight to the boss is going to be Alberic. So the first thing he's going to do is he's actually going to attempt to attack you with his javelin.
Who's the attack? Me.
He missed and he gets another attack. He hits you on that one.
Bring it. I'm into this.
He hits you for a whole point of damage. So at the end of it, he does move out a little bit further out into the road, so that he's a little bit better seen at this point, so that he can get positioned himself for a better attack. And goblin number 2, that one's 5, that one's 4, 3, 1. Where's 2? There he is. So that one's looking at Alberic as well.
Should have made my guy a massive.
is going to use his scimitar to attack you. And he hits once, doing 4 points of slashing damage to Alberic. The goblin number 4, which is the one is dying, and that one's going to target the one that hurt him the most. Oh, he's on the ground. That's right, he's stuck. He can't do anything. Ah! Goblin number 5 is dying, but you know what? He can still get a turn. And it looks like this one's going to go after Miss Dala.
Do these goblins have 2 weapons?
Yes. Oh, they get 2 attacks, yes. They have 1 weapon, 2 attacks.
So they're a higher level than us?
So they, that one's going to do a javelin attack. Actually, it has a short bow. And hits with 1 arrow. Does 5 points of damage to Dala. So the next person to go in line is Diatrisi. It's all yours.
They're whopping 2 initiative.
I was really not feeling this one.
Oh, by the way, Dan, just to let you know, there's 2 Alberic in the combat tracker.
Thank you very much, ma'am. How did you miss? God, I had so much ranging on you, dear. All right, starting back over. Zaviel, it is your turn.
If something's dying, I don't need to touch it, right? It's already on the ground.
It's bleeding, so in a couple more rounds, yeah, it could bleed out. So probably, if I were you on something like that, is I would want to attack something that's fresh.
Watch out for line of fire.
I can see Goblin 4, yeah? Oh, he's incapacitated still for a minute.
Yes. Actually, at his turn, he on this round, he'll be able to move.
I'm going to...
He is. Okay.
Don't forget to target the boss.
Or not. And we use our bonus action to heal Bartholomew.
Okay.
Or whoever's this guy named with
It was Dala.
Dala.
So do this at this point. Yeah, just roll your heal. There you go. Perfect. Good job. Popos, it's your turn, sir.
Am I too far to run up to the goblin number 2?
Probably.
Goblin number 3. The only ones that's it's number 2. Yeah, that's a little bit of a distance. That would take a full turn or a full round rather, not a movement and an action.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I move about midway?
You can get you could get right there and still be able to have an action.
I'll use healing words on Albrecht.
Okay. What healing words? How much does that heal for?
1d4 plus 2.
Okay, so what you're going to want to do is, much like how Zaviel did it, you should have the ability to be able to target Alberic and then use that roll on that skill so that it actually heals him.
Also, what words are you using?
All 4 words.
He's using all the big words, so you have no idea what he's saying.
Okay, I did it properly.
It looks like it. Yep, looks like you added 3 points to Alberic. Good job.
Can I attack before moving?
You can move, attack, or attack and move, yes. So we're looking at Miss Dala has the floor.
How close can I get to the boss?
Let's see, where are you? There you are. Taking a half turn and still having an action, or a full turn?
Half turn? Like just moving and attacking at the same time.
Right there.
Because I'm not within range of 15. 15?
Sure. Let's call it 15 feet.
Okay. Oh, okay, it's just happens.
What happens?
Now I'm trying to cast Burning Hands.
Okay.
What the heck? Okay, so he has to save 13, right?
Burning Hands should still have, yeah, some damage to it. So Burning Hands, 12, and you did that to the boss, correct?
Yeah, basically I just snap my fingers and it happens. It's a cone of 15 feet.
So it looks like he took 12 points of damage off your Burning Hands spell. Okay.
Oh, I didn't target him, that's why. I was wondering.
Go ahead and try it again. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so do your damage. So he did half damage on that one. Alright. Alberic, your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna attack this guy again.
No, you're not. Do you have a second attack? Yep. There you go. Mucho better. Not so much on the damage side, though. Aiden, it's your turn.
I'm gonna finish this guy off here.
Alright.
I was hoping to kill this goblin and move between Gala and the boss.
You missed.
She didn't get beat up.
Alright, so on the Goblin's initiative,
I'm also gonna move if that's okay.
another one pops up from around the bushes. And Diatrice, I'd like for you to roll an perception. Okay. So we have that other one that's joined the battle. So we have the boss, who's got a new renewed focus on someone different. And he's going to do a javelin attack on her. And misses. And let's see, this is Goblin number 2. I just got to find him. 5. Goblin number 2, in an half-ditch effort to try to do some more damage prior to dying, he's going to try to take another swipe with his scimitar at Alberic. And misses. Which one's this one? Number 1. So 1 is on here. I need to actually do 1's attack on this. So let's look at this. And where did Aiden go?
Yeah, I moved.
Okay, you moved after it? Alright, that's fine.
Yep.
So Goblin number 1, actually off to Alberich's left, comes up from behind the bushes and starts running towards Alberich in a ditch effort to try to save his half-dying, whatever his relationship is with this guy. And if I can remember this right, I'll be in good shape. They grew up together. Oh. Alright. Doom, doom. There we go.
Gotta give the useless monsters backstory, or else it's no fun to kill them.
He comes out of the bushes and does 2 swipes with a scimitar and misses you completely. Goblin number 4
I'll go back at his face.
is dying. He's actually trying to slither away back into the woods. So at this point, Alberich and Aiden and Dala could do a ranged attack on him to his back.
Yeah, I'm gonna try another rare class.
Okay, go ahead. Well, all 3 of you can attempt.
I'll let hers go first.
Oh, such a gentleman.
She has higher initiative. And also, I don't want to chuck the sword if I don't have to.
Smack. Aiden? It's dying.
Yeah, but isn't it already died?
It should be dead. Let me check on this real quick. It says right there.
Yeah, I don't think monsters enter a dying state.
Yeah, it's this one on my side. It says dying in 1, so we're just going to go ahead and call this one out.
I'm not gonna throw it then.
And Goblin number 5, which is that one.
I renamed my throwing dagger to be in my boot.
Oh, okay.
Throwing dagger. Renamed it again so it makes more sense.
Whack. So Goblin number 5 in a last-ditch effort prior to it going down, shoots an arrow rather towards Diatrisi and hits, doing 8 points of damage. And Diatrisi was looking very, very, very bad.
Man, that's like half your health in a hit.
From out of the bushes comes another goblin, also hitting Diatrisi. She's taken a lot of damage at this point from a couple of bows. I'm sorry, a couple of arrows, rather. And the other one moves out from around the bushes so that he's not hiding anymore and can be seen on the map. So along this round, after Diatrisi goes, Goblin 5 should be out of commission.
Is Goblin 1 up, like, next to me now?
Diatrisi
Not yet.
one-
Yeah, I'm gonna cast then move.
Okay. Go ahead and do your targets and cast. So it didn't save. Bam! Alright, so at the beginning of this round, and you hit that one hard too, didn't you? Goblin 5 drops. Goblin 3 is badly wounded. He should go for about another round or so. And I think we're good to go as far as what's happening with the NPCs. Xaviel, it's back to you. Good job, sir. That's all it's all you're doing on this one, right? Okay.
I'm gonna move it well and shoot my bow.
You have already done a heal, so that's an action. All you can do right now is move.
How far can I move on the map?
To where you are right now, which is that's Savio. Where are you? There you are. You're back there. So you could probably make it right behind the wooden structure, like right there, on a half turn.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. And now it's Popo's turn.
I will run. I can reach Goblin number 3 and still have an action.
Let me look. Hold on. You could get real close to him and still have an action. Yes.
Okay, would I be in melee range?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll do that and we'll try to end Goblin 3. Oh,
And you missed. But you know what? Valiant effort, sir. Dala, it's your turn.
Since the guy seems to have being able to handle the others, and I have the best target on my side, let's roast him a little bit more.
And you miss. Albric, it's your go.
Okay, so if I like move myself to about here,
Yeah.
will he get an attack of opportunity? I'm still gonna be like facing him.
You know you're real close to it. It's almost like sidestepping a little bit, so no.
That's
You could still defend.
And then the first attack will go into him, and we'll see about the second one.
And that missed the first one.
Okay, second one is also going to hit.
Okay. That hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh my god.
Somebody needs some training. Aiden, it is your turn.
Maybe if I could have gone and talked to the storm giant.
What are we doing, sir?
Sorry, I was pressing the wrong button. I'm gonna kill Mr. Goblin too.
Okay.
I tried to. He seems invincible to me.
Oh.
No, that guy is dead.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely toast. He's insta dead.
Can we loot yet?
Not yet.
Oh, damn. I was saying we get
The goblin boss has a turn.
Dibs.
The goblin boss rushes up, draws his scimitar, and takes a slash at Dala, doing 4 points of damage, and she's looking a little weary. Let's see, Goblin 1, is that one down already? It's 3, 1, no, 1's still up, perfect. So that one's got that one targeted, so he's going to use his scimitar to try to hit Alberic. And hits him for 7 points of damage to Alberic. Goblin number 3. In a last-ditch effort.
Go ahead, finish your reading, and then I'll ask my question.
Give me just a second here. There we go. Last-ditch effort tries to reach out to Zaviel. And misses. And then Diatrice. Oh, very nice. That one was number, which one was that? Number 2 or 3?
3.
Got it. That one's gone. History. So that leaves 2 of the goblins up as we start round number 4. Zaviel, it is your turn.
I would like to get into melee with the boss.
Okay, go ahead and move. I'll let that happen. Go ahead and move your character up toward in melee range of the boss.
Am I allowed to shoot my bow while I move? I feel like that's
Yeah, or what you can do if you want to make that happen is you would drop the bow to draw the weapon while you move. You'll just okay. You'll just have to remember to pick up the bow at the end of the combat. So you can get within melee range.
I'm going to use my unarmed strike.
Okay. Make sure you target the boss and roll to hit. Very nicely done, sir. Roll damage. Nice. The boss is starting to waver a little bit.
I get to do it again.
That was a miss, sir.
And miss.
Yay. Popos?
I'll try to reach Goblin 1. It's too hard.
You could get half the distance between you and Goblin 1.
And can I burn a full action to get to him?
Yes, you certainly can.
Okay. Then I'll get just close enough so next time I can go into him.
Okay, go ahead and move your token. So you're trying to get into melee range?
Oh, okay.
Alright, that takes care of your turn. Dala.
Real quick, you can also shoot and draw your weapon.
Okay.
I'm moving just close enough so I can throw with a shocking grasp the boss.
Okay. Alberic?
I'm gonna attack this guy. Wait, I haven't attacked him. I'm gonna try and get revenge on this guy. Oh,
And you missed him. Do you get your bonus hit? There you go. That one definitely hit. Alright. Aiden, it's your turn.
I'm going to use a hide action and try to get a sneak attack in.
Okay.
Sneak attack says once per turn you can deal an extra 1d6 damage.
I think that implies you have to attack first. But if
Do I
you're
have
using a hide,
advantage on attack roll?
Yeah, what Zaviel's saying is true.
You have to roll stealth to make a hide attempt.
How did I do that?
You have one of your skills is stealth, and there should be the ability that you can roll with that, like a little die shape or something next to it.
The same way that we can roll in like perception and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's your action.
All right, you stealthed up behind him. So that's going to be your turn at this point. Next turn, you'll be able to do what you need to do. Okay? Bam. Goblin boss. Let's see.
Oh, who goes along the trek? Does the frail little girl or the one that's fully armed?
Huh? Something didn't work right. Hold on. Stealth. Goblin boss attack. He hit. Goblin boss scimitar /4. So Zaviel is wounded. And goblin number 2. Give me just a second to get his target going. He uses his scimitar to reach out and hit Popos and hits. Doing 4 points of damage. Popos is wounded.
I'm dying.
At the bottom of round 4, it is now Diatrece's turn with 2 goblins left on the table. That didn't work. Let's not worry about it now, but we'll have fun with it later. When you roll a 1 on a d20, that's what we call an automatic fail. And sometimes what we like to do is we like to see what happens on an automatic fail. You were trying to hit Goblin 1, so you would have been turned this way, right? So with a failure, that means that Popos and Alberic would be direct line of sight. We do have a failure. Oh, hang on a second. Where is that failure table? One second.
One of these tables. Fumble and critical hit tables. Fumble effect. Fumble. Automatic miss. Fumble effect. Let's see, just automatic.
Okay. So what we did is we found out inside of Fantasy Grounds there is a way we have a fumble, if you will, or a critical miss table. And at this point, even though that they were standing in line of sight, we rolled against that table, and all it said was it basically just missed the other players.
We also have critical hits.
Oh yeah, we do have for critical hits. We got to remember that one. Okay, starting at the top of round 5, Zaviel. It's time to end this thing. To the boss. That definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Boss is dying. Do you still want to strike him again? Another hit? No, I want to heal him so I can do it all over again. The boss is in the process of dying. Good job, sir. Popos?
Very strong for being a healer.
I'll try to hit goblin number 1.
Don't attack my friends, otherwise I rage. I'm gonna be mad if Popos kills this guy.
He is dying. Popos did a good job on that. Matter of fact, I think even though Popos hit, he did more damage than what you did in your total battle. Dala, it's your turn. Okay.
Since I'm in clutching range.
Oh, so Donovan, my question from before. Do you know if it's including the +1 AC again from having or from dual wielding weapons?
Yes, that's taken into effect. All right, and let's see, Albric. It's all up to you.
Yeah, I'm finishing this guy off. Hopefully.
Very nicely done, sir. Roll damage. Dying once, that's pretty much means that he is down for the count and drops. That just leaves the boss, who is still at the process of dying, and that comes.
I was gonna overkill.
Okay, Aiden, it's your go.
Alright, so I'm gonna do a sneak attack, so I'm gonna roll.
Okay,
Oops, I didn't target him.
well, go ahead and target him, and then roll damage. An 18 is definitely going to hit. That's without a doubt. And the boss drops. And the map is cleared. So we do have treasure going on, but also you want to take a look to see the condition of the party. Since the party is somewhat wounded, you might want to take some time to take care of that.
Short rest so that I can heal people because I burned through both
Okay.
slots.
So if we're going to take a short rest in this area, where is going to be the best place to do that?
Over by that corpse. One in the trees off to the left.
How does the song of rest verge?
It basically enhances the resting period, so it doesn't take. Usually, if you're trying to replenish everything, it comes back to be about an 8-hour day. When you have individuals that can influence that, you would influence it by a couple of hours, maybe. So instead of 8 hours, you would spend 6 to replenish any spells. And usually, in a day's turn, you can heal 2 points just by resting.
Okay.
So where are we going to set up a temporary?
I would like to look at the bodies for.
That loot is being calculated right now.
Yeah.
So where do we want to set up camp?
You see that? You see that little, what looks like a body over by where my guy is now?
Right, yeah, I see that.
Can I investigate that?
Yeah,
Like, investigate
that's just some dirt.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Red dirt.
Okay. So where? Okay. Once again, I'm going to ask the question.
Right where I am.
For me, I would prefer like we go a little bit farther away since here there's a bunch of cars. But if you guys prefer staying here, we could. I'm still fine. I don't think I could cast any more spells. But I would still prefer getting out of here.
Do you want to go over here where Popos is, or over there where?
No, I
Aiden.
mean like out of that place, like continue moving on and
It.
once we find a
You
spell-
can, but you're going to be moving at half the speed because of the amount of wounds and how much everybody has exerted over the battle. So it's probably a good idea right now to set camp someplace. So you want to do that over there?
Wouldn't it be safer to hide in the bushes while we rest?
You know what happened last time that we slept close to bushes?
Okay, I
We
see.
got a path.
So have we picked the spot yet, or am I just going to assume you're vulnerable again?
No, this seems to have found the spot.
All right. So we set up camp there on the left-hand side of the map.
All the healing. All of it.
All right. So what we're going to do is get everybody moved over into the camp area.
So a total of 14 CP.
Okay.
32
Somebody want to write this all down? They get this as well?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so as far as money is concerned, we're going straight down and then this line, right? So 2 columns, right? You have you've collected about 16 gold pieces, 14 copper pieces,
32.
32 silver pieces. That's CP? And what is that?
EP electrum.
Okay. And then 23 electrum. Amongst the bodies, you were also able to salvage a length of silk ribbon. What looks to be a brown leaf type item that has about 20
In a small.
in a small folded up paper. You've received an apple, a piece of chalk, and a drinking horn lined with gold and tiger's eye.
I'm gonna type a question to the DM.
All right.
Can I have the apple? I'm hungry.
Another breathing period.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Can I have the apple?
Sure.
Alberic is hungry. But not like hungry, just like needs a refreshing snack hungry.
I'm interested in that folded up sheet of paper. I want that. I'll keep your ribbon.
So at a point, nice.
I would like to persuade the group to let me hold some valuable items and more currency.
So the way that this works is he's rolled a very good persuasion. So whoever has that has to save.
They have to roll against their insight.
Yeah, you have to roll against insight, and it looks like Zaviel saved.
Do we all roll?
Who's holding the loot? Well, you know what? Yes, you all roll. All of you roll. Dala's a 23, very nice. 16. 18.
So
Anybody else we're missing?
Dala and Albrecht are saying, well, Albrecht is a tie. I would give it probably. Since it's a profession, I give it on Aiden's side. So only Dala. I would say only Dala saved on that.
everything, Aiden.
So at this point, looking at everything, the world designer has decided that through all the rolls, the only one that actually is not persuaded by him is Dala, since she has the highest roll.
And he.
Alberic is still kind of hesitant.
I tied it.
Yeah, but he's got profession.
Yeah, he does have the profession. So you're like, you feel that there's something's up.
We're gonna split everything? Nobody's keeping more money than anybody else because you, from all people, will probably sneak out with that money and never come back.
Okay, so let's see what happens here. Dala, how I almost want to ask, how aggressive would you be in trying to stop the rest of the people from handing him more than his share?
More like going like physically stopping that from like
Right. I mean, how?
your hands like you don't give him your money, just keep it.
Anything? Anybody?
Sure. One sec.
I'm just like a small child right now, listening to what everyone is telling me.
Chomping down on your apple?
Yeah. So her telling me not to is enough to convince me.
You're good, Albert. Just eat your apple and keep your money. Really, guys? Oh my god, you're so dumb.
So my other question is, since we're all doing the camp right here, am I to assume that you guys brought the horses up?
Yeah, Tracy did an emote thing saying she
Gotcha. Thank you, Diatrice. Awesome.
She just treated it as she must take care of them.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to decide on how much he actually received. So the thing about it is that while he does have the skill and they were persuaded to give him more, at some point they're going to put two and two together and think, wait a minute, something's up. So just keep that in mind. We're going to rest here for the night before continuing on. And since we have the point of rest here, everybody's wounds and everything will be here, and then by next gaming session we will get them adjusted, and then we can continue on with the adventure. But I think right now would be a perfect time to go ahead and stop. Actually, hang on one second. Hold on. I'm being overruled. Hold on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to time gash a little bit. So out in the city. So what we're going to end up doing is taking you guys all the way to the city. To the city. I don't. So weeks 9 and 10 go by. So pretty much that's going to be another 4 points of health gone back. Small orbs of flight. So it looks like inside of the notes here, it says another magic storm rolled in late in the 10th week of travel. Your party took shelter in a most intact ruin. But ever since the storm, something has been hunting you, toying with you. You felt like you're being watched. Now where's the city at? Right here? Okay, let me go back and so weeks 9 and 10, the notes here, pretty much you're unable to avoid the roads. The roadways seem abnormally wide. And on the main thoroughfare, you can all ride in a single line with your arms outstretched and not reach either side. Give me just a second to kill off the campfire stuff here. Hold on. And get the horse riding going. It says, small orbs of light can be frequently seen out of the corner of your eyes, but nothing can be seen directly. Snippets of conversation, the bark of a dog, okay, or a snarl. Snippets of conversation, the bark of a dog, or other such daily sounds are unexpectedly heard. But traveling on the road allows you to make more distance in the day. You're physically less tired, but mentally more on edge from the strange happenings. Another magic storm rolled in late on the 10th week of travel. Once again, the party took shelter in a mostly intact ruin, but ever since the storm, something seemed to be hunting you and toying with you. So, your travel is almost done. A city lay before you as far as the eye can see. Completely intact and creepily enough inhabited, these ghostly denizens pay you no mind and are absolutely everywhere, exchanging ghostly goods and going about as if they are the living beings. However, nothing changes in the city. Meals on the table remain preserved and uneaten. Even the animals appear only as spirits. Anything inanimate sits watching for their own owner's return. But you feel watched by a million eyes. You can also see your goal, a giant mountain in the center of the plains. The city flows from it, slopes from a single spiral tower at the center. At night, the spire lights up like a beacon and shoots a beam of light into the heavens. As you near the heart of the city, you see a ghostly procession. Nearly all races are represented, geared for battle, escorting giant ghostly dragons. The colors of the dragons and banners are muted and still discernible. They are ornately decorated, and the ghostly roaring challenges can still be heard. Each dragon has a mounted rider, and they are in full armor. But it's obvious that the rider is not in control of the dragon, as there are no reins. After an hour, it's past you completely. Finally, your guides find a small walled temple. No spirits inhabit this place, and the feeling of being watched suddenly disappears once you pass into the gate. There is enough room inside for you to stable your mounts and make a campsite. You've made it. Footsteps. Yay, you're there. Yay.
This way. This way.
Alright, so we're right at the city, so now at this point, more of the story will begin by next week. So we've got everybody off of the road safely. So what I would like for you guys to do in your character sheets, since that amount of time has passed, go ahead and reset your hit points back to full. And we'll pick up here next week. Yay! Sorry it wasn't the greatest game in the world, but you know, we wanted to get you through there because there's a lot of things left to do. So the encounter was pretty much one of these things, well, let's go ahead and give them something on the road. But yeah, so it's the idea that we just wanted to get you, instead of having to dwell a lot on encounters and things of that nature, is to kind of step forward the story a little bit more to get you where we needed to get you. So hopefully it wasn't so too bad, and we look forward to seeing you guys here next week.